The families of these young medical students and graduate doctors have travelled here to the southern Turkish city of Gaziantep on the border with Syria in a desperate attempt to get more information about the plight of their children. We now know that the group of medics comprises 13 people, 9 British Sudanese, 2 Sudanese, 1 American Sudanese and 1 Canadian Sudanese. They travelled from the medical facility in Khartoum on Thursday the 12th of March to Istanbul. They then took a bus down here to the southern border with Syria, and some of them sent messages to their parents who are based in the UK, many of them, saying that they wanted to do voluntary work to help Syrians and that the parents should not worry about them. But of course the parents did worry. They've come over here to Gaziantep. Many of them had hoped that their children were still here in Turkey because their mobile phone signals were being picked up on the Turkish side of the border. But I've just spoken to the father of one of the missing medics, and he says they are now convinced that the group has crossed over into Syria. And the fear is, of course, that they're working in medical facilities in areas controlled by the extremist group, so-called Islamic State. The ultimate fear is that they were somehow recruited in the university in Khartoum, lured to IS-held territory. The father says he's not getting enough information and help from the British and Turkish authorities. Turkey has long been criticised, of course, for not patrolling its 500 or so mile, 900 or so kilometre long border with Syria properly. That border has been too porous and has allowed people to cross over into Syria without patrolling the border. The father and none of the families want to speak to the British media. They are all refusing interviews for fearful of a backlash against their children in Syria, but also children back home in the UK. But they are here, still waiting in Gaziantep, hopeful of more information and ultimately hopeful that they could still get their children back home.